lattice energy. What is this lattice energy? That is the amount of energy released, when 1 mole solid ionic compound is formed from its oppositely charged ions is called lattice energy. So, during the formation of ionic compound, that is 1 mole ionic compound, something energy will be released. That released energy is called as lattice energy. Okay, see here. So I want to prepare NaCl compounds. That NaCl compound, 1 mole NaCl compound, I want to prepare Na plus ion and Cl minus ion. It is in solid stage. 1 mole solid NaCl compound, I want to prepare. So this NaCl from its ions only, not from any other way. Okay. So what are the ions present in NaCl? That is Na plus ion, which is in gaseous state, plus Cl minus ion, which is also in gaseous state. These two gaseous Na plus and Cl minus ions, so unite with each other and gives 1 mole NaCl. The release, something energy is released, that is called as delta H. This released energy is called as lattice energy. This lattice energy is indicated with the letter U. That released energy is called as lattice energy. Note down, these two ions must be in gaseous state. These ions must be in gaseous state because losing of electrons or gaining of electrons always takes place in gaseous state. But the formed compound must be in solid state. This must be in solid state. These must be in ionic state. Those are must be gaseous state. Then only the compound released energy is called as ionization energy. Sorry, lattice energy. For example, see here. There is sodium which is in solid state. Okay, so there is Cl2 gas, which is half mole Cl2 for 1 chlorine. So Cl2 means 2 chlorine atoms. Half mole means 1 chlorine atom, which is in gaseous state. That one also gives 1 mole NaCl solid form. 1 mole NaCl solid form. So is this here also something energy released? Minus means released energy. Something energy is released. Is this energy is called as lattice energy or not? Tell me, boys. So, what is this lattice energy mean? This is lattice energy. Lattice energy. See once again, listen carefully. Lattice energy means that is the ionic compound in solid state is formed. That is the ionic compound in solid state is formed. From its ions only. Those must be in gaseous state. This situation only gives lattice energy. Any other situations are nothing but a chemical reaction, but not lattice energy. Now, is this reaction, the released energy is called as lattice energy or not? Lattice energy or not? So see here, this is solid sodium. We expected Na plus ion gaseous state, but solid sodium. It is chlorine gas. It is not Cl minus ion, chlorine gas. It is the reaction. This reaction is possible, but this energy is not a lattice energy. That energy is not a lattice energy. That is the energy released during the reaction. It is the energy of a reaction. That's enough. That reaction is possible, no doubt. But that is the energy released during the reaction. That is called the energy of the reaction, released energy. But it is not considered as lattice energy. Okay, so lattice energy means, so that is the solid ionic compound. 1 mole should be formed from its oppositely charged ions. Those ions must be in gaseous state. Those ions must be in gaseous state. Otherwise, the reaction is not considered as lattice energy formation reaction. That is just a simple reaction. Did you catch my point? Is this clear? Is this clear or not? So it is the chemical reaction, not lattice energy formation reaction. This is the chemical reaction, but lattice energy reaction. Okay, now what are the factors? What are the factors that are influencing on this lattice energy? What are the factors influencing on lattice energy? So see here, lattice energy means, so there is Na plus ion, there is Cl minus ion, these two attract with each other. So during this process, something attractive force is there. Attractive force is there. Because of this attractive force, energy is released. This is lattice energy, my dear boys. So if more attraction is there, more energy released. More attraction is there, more energy is there. Less attraction is there, less energy is released. That means the released energy depends on attractive forces between the ions. Is this clear? The released energy depending on attractive forces of attractive force existing between the ions. More is the attraction between the ions, more energy will be released. Less is the attraction between the ions, less energy will be released. That means entire released energy is depending on amount of extent of attraction. Extent of attraction. So when more attraction is there, when less attraction is there. So more energy will be released, lattice energy will be more. Less energy, so less attraction, lattice energy will be less. That means entire lattice energy mainly depending on so quantity of the attractive forces. So see here, I'm giving some factors which are influencing on this lattice energy. Factors influencing on lattice energy. The main factors that influence this lattice energy. What are the factors influencing on lattice energy? See here, this is the atom which is in positive charge. This is the atom which is negative ion. This is small in size. It is also small in size. Because these two atoms are small in size, those are strongly attracted. Those are strongly attracted. So that means there is a greater attraction between these two ions. Because small size ions free to move. Small size ions free to move. That means this is the small size. Let us take one more example. This is the atom with positively charged ion. This is the ion for negatively charged ion. So here is the attraction. Observe the speed of the attraction. Here also observe the speed of the attraction. Where attraction is fast or quick and more. Tell me boys, in first case or second case, no doubt, between plus and minus there is an attraction. Between plus and minus there is an attraction. In which case, attraction may be high, we expect it. Because these are big in size, not free to move. Slowly they are moving towards each other. But here, because small size, they are quickly ending. That is why here more attraction we expected. More attraction. Here, less attraction we expected. More attraction means more energy released. Here, less attraction means less energy released. That means in which case, lattice energy is more. Released energy is nothing but lattice energy. In which case, lattice energy is more. First case, gold liquid, lithium gold. Therefore, so ions having more size or less size ions gives more lattice energy. More size ions gives lattice energy more, or less size ions gives lattice energy more. More size or less size? Yes, less size. So both cation and anion having small size gives more lattice energy. That means lattice energy, the first point, the factor that influencing lattice energy, quantity of lattice energy, released energy. That is, first point, lattice energy is inversely proportional to size of cation and anion. Is this clear or not? Is this clear or not? It is a size of inversely proportional to size of cation and anion. In particular, lattice energy is inversely proportional to sum radii of cation and anion. Sum of the, my dear boys, it is the sum of the radius of cation and anion. It is the condition. So when it is more, when it is less. So more is the distance between, that is, as the size increases, radius increases. As radius increases, so lattice energy decreases. lattice energy decreases. Lattice energy directly inversely proportional to sum of the radii of cation and anion. Lattice energy inversely proportional to sum of the radii of cation and anion. It is the sum and not multiplication. Okay, so see, my dear boys, lithium fluoride is there, cesium fluoride is there. Lithium fluoride, cesium fluoride. So it is first case, it is second case. Where more lattice energy is applied? Good, good, yes, yes. I'm very happy, my dear boys. All of you correct. Thank you. So lithium, fluorine, same ending, but lithium has a small size, cesium has a more size ending. More size ion has less lattice energy. Therefore, lattice energy of lithium fluoride is greater than that of cesium fluoride. That means the strength of ionic bond is more here. Once again, I am telling my dear boys, strength of ionic bond is more here. More is the lattice energy, more is the strength of ionic bond. So cesium fluoride formation is easy, just as per your previous knowledge. Cesium fluoride is easily formed. Cesium plus is easily formed than Li plus. So ionic bond formation is easy, but the strength of ionic bond is more here. The strength of ionic bond is more here. That means more is the lattice energy, more is the strength of the ionic bond. Okay. So among these two, which compound easily formed? Tell me. Cesium fluoride or lithium fluoride? Which compound easily formed? Yes, it is. This is easily formed. Which compound has more strength of ionic compounds? Which compound has more strength? That is first one. So strength means depending on lattice energy. Formation means depending on the sizes. That is more size ion gives more size cation easily formed, less size cation difficult to form. That means lithium fluoride is more ionic than cesium fluoride. The strength of lithium fluoride, ionic character of the lithium fluoride is more than that of cesium fluoride. So this is very, very important. Please try to understand. In today's exam, some problems are there based on this lattice energy. Now, after completion of this chapter, this topic, once again you complete those problems, because some topics are not covered in yesterday's class, but bits are come here. Okay, these topics are appeared in your exam paper, today's exam paper. That is why, please once again try to solve that paper after completion of this topic. Okay. So this is lattice energy. That means size influences it. Next one, but there is another most important factor. See here, one atom has +1 charge, another atom has +2 charge. Okay, so here there is Cl minus ion, there is Cl minus ion. Here +1 charge is +2 charge. +2 charge means more is the positive charge, less is the charge in it. So less charge, less attraction. Less charge, less attraction. More charge, more attraction. More attraction means more energy will be released in it. That is means lattice energy is directly proportional to charge of the ions. More positive, more negative, more attraction. Less charge, less plus, less minus, less attraction. So more is the charge, more is the lattice energy. Less is the charge, less is the lattice energy. That means lattice energy directly proportional to charge of the ion. Lattice energy directly proportional to charge of the ion. Therefore, I am writing here lattice energy directly proportional to Q1 into Q2, boys. Q1 charge of cation, Q2 charge of anion. Q1 and Q2. So directly proportional to product of the charge of the cation and anion, inversely proportional to sum of the radii of cation and anion. This is the sum, this is product. So altogether, lattice energy is directly proportional to Q1 into Q2 by inversely proportional to radius of cation to radius of anion. These are the factors that are influencing on lattice energy. Lattice energy directly proportional to product of the charges of the ions and inversely proportional to sum of the radii of cation and anion. Sum of the radii of cation. It is a charge of cation, it is a charge of anion. Charge of cation, charge of anion. So it is a way to identify. So these are the most important two factors that influencing on lattice energy. See, my dear boys. See here, there is calcium oxide. There is NaCl. It is 1, it is 2. 1 and 2. Which one has greatest lattice energy? Tell me. Which one has greatest lattice energy? Yes, Hemant, you are correct. Yes, correct, Teja. Correct. Likit, you are wrong. So answer is first one. And see here, calcium oxide means Ca plus 2 O minus 2. Ca plus 2 O minus. NaCl Na plus 1 Cl minus. Here plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 here plus 2 minus 2 charge, product of the charge directly proportional. So more is the charge. 2 into 2, 4 is the numerator value only. But 1 into 1 is the numerator value only. 1 is the numerator value. Okay. Therefore, more is the charge, more is the lattice energy. That means this has more lattice energy than this one. This has greatest ionic nature. That is strength of ionic nature here is more than that of this one. So formation that is easy, but strength is here. Formation that is strength is here. Now once again, say check answer. That is so sodium. It is the magnesium. It is the calcium, but sodium size and calcium size are almost the same. Almost same. Here, first of all, try with charges. So if charges are equal, then try with the sizes. Then try with the sizes. Okay. Next, see here, there is a problem based on this topic. In today's your paper, there is a question. Today's paper, that is calcium oxide and NaCl. Calcium oxide and NaCl have the crystal structure, have the same crystal structure. Have the same crystal structure and approximately same ionic radii. Approximately same ionic radii. If lattice energy of NaCl is U, lattice energy of NaCl is U, the approximate lattice energy of calcium oxide is dash. So is there anyone to solve this problem? Just now completed the concept. This is the problem appeared in your today's morning exam. Today's morning exam, this is the problem. But our concept is completed now. So now solve this problem. Likit wrong. Wrong, Teja. Yes, Chakras Fanit. Fanit, you are correct. Teja, you are correct. Subramanya, wrong. Manoj, wrong. For NaCl, it is U. For cesium calcium oxide, it is how much? See here, we know lattice energy is directly proportional to charge of cation into charge of anion and inversely proportional to radius of cation plus radius of anion. Radius of cation plus radius of anion. So here same radii. That means this value is the same ending. That means it is not influenced. Therefore, so lattice energy of NaCl by lattice energy of calcium oxide is equal to, so Q plus and Q minus of NaCl by Q plus into Q minus of calcium oxide. So the given value is Lattice energy of NaCl is U, and lattice energy of CaO, we are going to calculate Q1, Q2, Na plus 1, Cl minus 1, 1 into 1 by here, calcium plus 2, O minus 2 into 2. Charges 2 into 2. Therefore, it is 1 by 4. Therefore, lattice energy of calcium oxide is equal to 4U. Lattice energy of calcium oxide is 4U. This is the answer. This is the answer. So, easy or difficult? Easy or difficult? So, once easy, and please mind it. It is the multiplication. Charge of cation into charge of anion. Here cation has plus 2, anion has minus 2. Charge of cation into charge of anion. So, sum of the radii. Sum of the radii. Good. Now, question is, calculate the lattice energy of NaCl. How much is the lattice energy? How to calculate lattice energy of NaCl? So, lattice energy of ionic compounds is calculated with the help of Born-Haber cycle. So, that is lattice energy calculation using Born-Haber cycle. Lattice energy calculation using Born-Haber cycle. This Born-Haber cycle is based on Hess-Land. Based on Hess-Land. According to Hess-Land, so the energy changes in a direct step is equal to sum of the energy changes in the multiple steps, delta H1 plus delta H2 plus delta H3, etc. The total heat change during a reaction is always constant. The total change in the reaction is always constant, whether the reaction takes place in a single step or in multiple steps. Okay, so that is Hess law. That is so. Okay, so it is Boyce-Larney, it is Hess-Larney. So according these two laws are already a completed extent. Now, Born-Haber cycle. This is based on Hess-Law. Hess-Law already I explained yesterday. So see here. How to calculate lattice energy of NaCl? I am trying to calculate lattice energy of NaCl using this Born-Haber cycle. For this purpose, Hess-Law we use it. For applying Hess-Law, there is a need of direct step and there is a need of indirect step. How this NaCl is directly available, they are directly prepared, and how this NaCl is indirectly prepared. So these two reactions are compared with the help of this Hess-Law. So we are going to calculate lattice energy. See here, I am trying to calculate NaCl. In our nature, from sodium side, sodium metal is formed. Metal means solid. Sodium metal is formed. Metal is available. Solid Na is existent. This solid Na reacts with half mole Cl2, which is in gas. Chlorine is always a gas. That gives NaCl compound. It is Na plus Cl minus. It is a solid component. It is a reaction, my dear boys. So it is solid sodium. It is chlorine gas. These two connect with each other. That gives NaCl ionic compounds. So that formed ion is here something energy is released. That released energy delta H is equal to how much? So this released energy that is minus 411.2 kilojoule. Minus 411.2 kilojoules. That much energy is released. Is this released energy? You should by heart these values. You should memorize these values. Is this energy lattice energy of this NaCl? Tell me, boys. Is this energy lattice energy of this NaCl or not? Nitin, you are wrong. Others correct. Manoj, you are wrong. Because lattice energy means that is a compound must be from ion. Must be from ion. Is Na ion or Cl ion is there? So no one. It is not Na plus. It is not Cl minus. But it is a chemical reaction. During the chemical reaction, something energy is released. That is called as heat of reaction. During the process, something energy is released, which is called as heat of reaction, which is indicated the letter Qr. Q is the heat of reaction. How much is the energy? That is minus. Minus indicates release, plus indicates absorbed. Plus indicates absorbed, minus means released. So that much energy will be released. It is a direct step to prepare NaCl. But it is not lattice energy lattice formation of NaCl. But now I am taking, it is direct step. Direct step to prepare this NaCl. But indirectly this NaCl is prepared. See here, this is the existing sodium. And now I am going to convert this sodium into Na plus ion. Na plus ion, gaseous ion. So this Cl2 I am converting Cl minus ion, gaseous ion. Combination of this Na plus and Cl minus ion, that gives once again NaCl. Once again NaCl. Okay. So this is Na plus ion, this is Cl minus ion. These two combinations gives NaCl. So something energy will be released. Is this released energy? Something energy is released. That released energy is lattice energy or not? Tell me why. Yes, Nitin, correct. So this is gaseous, this is gaseous. Please try to check here, my dear boys. Please try to check. Are these in gaseous state or not? Are these ions or not? Please check it. If they are ions, so automatically the compound is formed. Now something energy is released. That released energy is called as lattice energy. This is the lattice energy. Now we are trying to calculate this U value. Okay. So yes, it is corrected. Now, how much is the U value? See here. So we have Na sodium solid, but we want gaseous sodium. We have sodium solid, but we want gaseous sodium ion. Now, how sir? So first of all, this solid sodium is converted into gaseous sodium by applying some energy. Now I'm applying some energy. So because of that some energy, solid sodium is changed to gaseous sodium ion. So that means here solid directly converts into gases. This process is called as sublimation process. The process name is called as sublimation process. The energy used is, now I am representing S, that is called as sublimation energy. Something energy we applied to convert this solid into gas. That means it is energy absorbed process, it is positive. It is positive. How much energy is applied here to convert this solid sodium into gaseous sodium? Non-ion, or just the physical stage is changed, solid to gas. So any substance directly changes from solid to gas is called as sublimation process. This is the sublimation of sodium. So for this, something energy is required. That required energy for this process is 108.4 kilojoules of energy. 108.4 kilojoules of energy. You should mind it. Next, we have gaseous sodium. Because solid sodium is now converted into gaseous sodium. This gaseous sodium I am converted into gaseous sodium plus ion just by remove. I am putting one electron, I am removing one electron. So removing some one electron. So automatically that means from this one electron is removed. To remove this electron, there is a need of some energy. That energy is called as ionization energy. So this is the energy required to remove an electron from the gaseous outermost orbit of a neutral atom. Okay, that is called as ionization energy. So the ionization energy for this sodium is, it is the energy required, it is also positive, my dear boys. So this value is equal to 496 kilojoules. So kilojoules, 496 kilojoules. Now solid sodium is converted into gaseous sodium by applying these two steps. See here. So gaseous sodium ion is coming out. So sodium atom. Now it is gaseous sodium ion. We want this gaseous sodium ion. So keep it aside. Now I am trying to calculate gaseous Cl minus ion. See how, sir? So Cl2 means there is a bond between chlorine and chlorine. Now I am applying something energy to break this bond. So because of this breaking, two chlorine atoms are coming out. But we want only one chlorine. That's why I am using half end. The energy used for this one is D, dissociation energy. For 1 mole it is D, but we are using only half mole, that is D by 2. That is d by 2. D by 2 is the dissociation energy of half mole of Cl2. So we apply some energy to break this bond. We applied, that means absorbed process. So that means here d by 2 energy is used. It is a positive. That is dissociation energy. So that dissociation energy is for, that is 121 kilojoules of energy. 121, it is positive value. We know that dissociation energy. Because of that, so one chlorine atom is formed with one electron, which is also in gaseous state. Because it is gaseous, it is gaseous state. It is a chlorine atom. Now, this chlorine atom is converted into Cl minus ion. So here one electron is removed. This removed electron is added here. So one electron is added here. So during addition of one electron to a gaseous element, so something energy will be released. That released energy is called as electron affinity. Now here electron affinity is applied. It is released energy, and that is why it is a minus sign. Released energy is minus that. So how much energy is released? Here the electron affinity is minus 348.6 kilojoules of energy. Kilojoules. This much energy is released. So minus indicates released, plus indicates absorbed. It is absorbed process. It is absorbed process, but it is absorbed process. But this is released process. Here, Cl atom is first of all formed, gaseous Cl atom, that is converted into gaseous Cl minus ion. So now we have Na plus ion gaseous ion, Na plus gaseous ion, and Cl minus gaseous ion. These two combine with each other to form NaCl. The released energy is called as the lattice energy. Which is released energy? It is the negative energy. It is the negative energy. That is the released energy. We don't know that released energy. That is taken as minus U. Minus U. U is the released energy. Negative indicates released energy. So U is the lattice energy. Now we are trying to calculate lattice energy of that NaCl. Is there any doubt? See-minded boys. First of all, solid sodium is there. Now I am trying to convert the solid sodium into solid sodium gaseous ion. So first solid sodium is converted into gaseous sodium ion, gaseous sodium atom. Now then converts into gaseous sodium ion. For this purpose, sublimation technique is applied. That energy is called as sublimation energy. Next here, one electron is removed to convert the sodium into sodium ion. So ionization energy is applied. The ionization energy for sodium is this much. Next, we have 1 mole Cl2. But 1 mole Cl2 gives 2 chlorine atoms. But we want only one. For that purpose, half mole energy is used. Half mole energy is used. Okay, so that half mole, that is for 1 mole D, that half mole is D by 2. That is for how much half mole is? That is plus 121 kilojoules. 121 kilojoules. Now, chlorine atom is there. So this chlorine atom is converted into chloride ion by the addition of electron. So when electron is added to the outermost orbit of a gaseous neutral atom, something energy will be released. That released energy is called as ionization, electron affinity. Electron affinity of chlorine is this much. Okay, so we have except this value, remaining all values are we know. Remaining all values we know. See here. Now we are applying the Hess law. So now we are applying Hess law. Sorry, please wait. Now we are applying Hess law. What is Hess law? Direct step energy is equal to sum of all indirect steps energy. It is a direct step. All these are indirect steps. Direct step energy is equal to sum of all indirect step energy. So it is released energy. It is once again minus. So that means according to Hess law, minus Q is equal to direct step energy is equal to sum of all these energy. It is plus S sublimation energy. It is ionization energy plus ionization energy. So it is D by 2 plus D by 2. It is electron affinity, released energy minus electron affinity. It is the energy released, that is the minus Q1. These are the sum of the indirect steps. This is the direct step. So direct step energy is equal to sum of the indirect steps energy. This is according to your Hess law. Now I want to calculate the U value. So bring that U in this side and the U Q and that side. Therefore, U is equal to S plus ionization energy plus D by 2 minus EA plus Q1. All these values we know. All these values we know. Substitute all these values. S value means this one. This is S value. This is S value. This is ionization energy value. This is D by 2 value. This is D by 2 value. This is EA value. This is Q value. This is Q value. So use all values. Use all values. So we will get lattice energy in it. That lattice energy, after substituting all these values, we have 788 kilojoule per mole. So this is the lattice energy of NaCl. So this is the lattice energy of. So here minus U means minus 788 we will get. How much is the lattice energy of NaCl? Lattice energy of NaCl is 788 kilojoule per mole. So lattice energy is always expressed per 1 mole NaCl. Here also 1 mole NaCl is formed. Therefore, so per 1 mole, lattice energy of the NaCl is 788 kilojoule per mole. 788 kilojoule per mole. This is the concept to calculate lattice energy of NaCl using Born-Haber. It is a cyclic process, my dear boy. So this is this is constructed by Born and Haber, two scientists. That is, this is called as Born-Haber cycle. Okay. So S is same for all. No. So element to element, the value is there. So sublimation energy for sodium only this one only. For other elements, they will give to you. So but for sodium chloride, all these values you should memorize. You should by heart. For sodium and chlorine. So for other elements, they will give in your problem. How we calculate? Just like this calculation. So substitute all these values. Sulfur, that is S value is how much? That is 108.4. Ionization is how much? 496. Next to D by 2 is how much? 121. Next to electron affinity is how much? Minus. It is plus. Minus 348.6. Q is how much? 411. 411.2. So substitute all these values. Ionization is how ionization energy is negative. So ionization energy means energy required to remove the electron. Required means supplied energy. Supplied energy means submitted energy. That is the positive value. Ionization energy is the positive value. Okay. So after calculation, this is total value. We should mind it. Dheeraj, post your doubt. I am waiting for you. Manoj, please post your doubts. Yes, lattice energy should be negative because that is the released energy. If energy is released, that is negative. If energy is absorbed, that is positive. During the formation of NaCl, energy released. If the NaCl is going to be break, that is absorbed energy. So sometimes absorbed energy, sometimes released energy, depending on the situation. Here I am explaining. Yes, plus energy means I am calculating U value, but we want minus U. Minus U means released energy. That is the final we get minus 788. I calculated U. So these values are, you should mind it. I don't calculate these values. So this is given value. This is given value. This one given value. This one given value from your textbooks. So this one given value. So by using all these values, I calculated that one. So if we don't know these values, it is not possible to calculate. It is not possible to calculate it. All these values from your memory base. Sir, I have also memorized these values. Yes, experimental values, no doubt, correct. Teja. For other compounds, these values are given to you. Okay, for NaCl only you should memorize. For NaCl only you should by heart. For other elements, for other compounds, they will give these values, so you should calculate. Harish, tell me, post it. Okay. Yes, 788, no doubts. But that is textbook value. Okay. So this is about your lattice energy calculation, my dear boys. So finally, how much is the lattice energy of NaCl? How much is the lattice energy of NaCl? That is 788 kilojoule per mole. (788 kilojoule per mole). See here, there is NaCl, 1 mole NaCl, solid compound is there. I want to break this NaCl into respect to Na plus ion and Cl minus ion, which are in gaseous state. The energy required for this process is also called as, that is because I am breaking it. How much energy is needed to break it like this? That is 788 kilojoules of energy is needed. This much energy is supplied to this, automatically it is going to be break. This is absorbed energy, my dear boys. This is also lattice energy. The energy required to break the 1 mole ionic compound into respect to oppositely charged gaseous ion is called as lattice energy. For example, there is Na plus ion which is in gaseous state. There is Cl minus ion which is in gaseous state. That gives NaCl storage. Okay, so 1 mole NaCl. So this is lattice formation. So here something delta H value is, that is minus 788 kilojoules of energy will be released. This is also called as lattice energy. It is a released energy. It is absorbed energy. So, but magnitude is same. But this one is plus, this one is minus. It is released one, it is absorbed one. So lattice energy means either released or absorbed, whatever it may be. During the formation of ionic compound, there is released energy. During the breaking of ionic compound, there is absorbed energy. So during the breaking of the compound, there is absorbed energy. Okay, so this is very, very important. Samanath, please post it. Depending on situation, during question, in your question, so there is 1 mole NaCl compound is there. So to break that compound, this much energy is needed means that you should take plus sign. If NaCl is found from its respect to ions, something energy is released, there you should take minus sign, depending on the question. Is this plus or minus? So depending on the situation. So I am explaining breaking concept, that is why it is plus. I am explaining formation concept, that is why it is minus. Okay, so this is lattice energy. Now what happened? Lattice energy from top to bottom in a group. Is this increased or decreased? See here. In a group from top to bottom, atom size gradually increases. Size increase. What happened? Lattice energy. Is this increased or decreased? Tell me. Yes, Arsha, correct? Correct. Because lattice energy is inversely proportional to size. Therefore, top to bottom in a group, lattice energy decreases. Top to bottom in a group, lattice energy decreases. In every group, lattice energy decreases. Okay, so next one, left to right, size gradually decreases. Size decreases, lattice energy increases. Size decreases, lattice energy increases. Manoj, please wait. If possible, post it. Otherwise, please wait. At last we will discuss. If possible, post it. Okay, so there is another concept that is also very, very important. H2SO for not ionic compound, my dear boy, that is acid, that is entirely different concept. Okay, Manoj, that is not ionic compound, that is acid. Okay, so next one. Srinivas, wait. So there is a need of another concept for the solubility of these ionic compounds. When these ionic compounds are more soluble, when are less soluble, all these concepts are explained on the basis of next topic, that is also called as, that is called as hydration energy. And hydration energy. This is called as delta H hydration. Hydration energy. Okay. So what is this, sir? See, my dear boys, listen carefully. I can't repeat once again. I don't repeat. This is a beaker with full of water. With full of water. Here water molecules are there. Water means H2O. H2O has this structure. So oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen. That is why oxygen gets partial negative charge. Hydrogen gets partial positive charge. This hydrogen also gets partial positive. So oxygen has a negative charge. Hydrogens have positive charge. Hydrogens have, that is the structure of water molecule. Okay, see here. Now I want to dissolve this NaCl. It is the ionic compound. Now, when NaCl is dissolved into the ionic compound, automatically it is break down into Na plus ions and Cl minus ions. Na plus ions and Cl minus is going to be break. Okay, so automatically these free ions are surrounded with water molecules because all these are water molecules. These Na plus ion. Okay, so Cl minus ion. This Cl minus ion also is surrounded with water molecules. Is this point clear, my dear boys? When NaCl is dissolved in water, break down into respective ions. Now these ions are in water. That ion is surrounded with water molecules. How, sir? Why, sir? How, sir? Why, sir? See here, Na plus ion. This is Na plus ion. Let it be Na plus ion. Water has, this is the structure. Now I am representing that water as this one. This one has minus, this one has plus ion. This is exactly this one. Okay, this is plus ion. That's why that cross point, it is minus, that is attracted by this one. That means all these are water molecules. So that oxygen is attracting towards sodium end. That means all these water molecules are surrounded by this Na plus ion. For example, Cl minus ion is there. This is Cl minus ion. These plus ions, hydrogens, these hydrogens are surrounded. Like this. So what are these? These points are hydrogens. These hydrogens are attracted to Cl minus ion. This oxygen, this that is vertex is oxygen. So these are also that is like this. Na plus ion is surrounded by water molecules. Like this, Cl minus ions are also surrounded by water molecules. So this process is called as water surrounding nature. The tendency of ions with what, that is the water molecules are occupied the surface of the Cl minus ion. The process is called as hydration. This process is called as hydration. These two processes are taken as hydration. So listen carefully. That is why I am once again expressing any. So it is not possible to repeat. Now a lot of syllabus is there. Listen first of all clearly. Don't talk with your neighbors or your parents or others. Please listen careful. It is not possible to repeat. It is the most important topic. So this is Na plus ion because it has positive charge. Negatively charged water has the negative part. That negative part is attracted. This is nothing but oxygen. These are oxygen atoms. These oxygen atoms have negative charges. These negatively charged oxygen atoms are attracted. Here it is minus. So these are positively charged hydrogens. These positively charged hydrogens are attracted towards that chlorine ion. Because of these, water molecules are attracted by that's Na plus ion and Cl minus ion. That tendency, that is surrounding of the water molecules towards a particular ion is called as hydration. Hydro means water. Water is occupied, surrounded. Hydration. So why these water molecules are surrounded? Is there any attraction or repulsion between that Na plus ion and water molecule? Is there an attraction or repulsion between this Na plus ion and this water molecule is the attraction or repulsion, no doubt attraction. Where there is attraction, something energy will be released. Where there is attraction, something energy will be released. Because between this Na plus and water molecule, there is energy. There is an attraction. Because of this attraction, energy released. Because of this attraction, here also, between Cl minus and water molecule, there is an attraction. That means something energy is released. This released energy during hydration, this released energy during this hydration is called as hydration energy. This energy during hydration is called as hydration energy. Did you catch my point? This is the process of hydration. This hydration is due to attraction of those water molecules with the ions. So where there is an attraction, automatically something energy will be released. Because of hydration, energy will be released. That energy is called as hydration energy. That hydration energy. Okay. If water is a solvent, here the water is a solvent. Solvent is water. If water is solvent, the process is called as hydration. The released energy is called as hydration energy. If solvent is other than water, the process is called as solvation. The process is called as solvation. That energy is called as solvation energy. That energy is called as solvation energy. Water is solvent, hydration and hydration energy. But other than water are there. Other than water may also solvent energy. There is acetic acid or ammonia like this. Other solvents are also there. So if other solvents are there, that is called as solvation. That energy is called as solvation energy. So frequently we are using, because most of the cases water is the solvent, that is why generally we are using hydration energy. Okay, so this is hydration energy, very, very important. Now, what happened? What about this hydration energy along groups and periods? Yes, no doubt. So here something energy will be released, here something energy will be. These two energies may be different, but the sum of these two values is hydration energy. This is different, this is different energy. But released energy is same. But sum of these two values is equal to hydration energy of that NaCl. Hydration energy of that NaCl. So did you catch my point, my dear boy? Okay. So this is the way to find out hydration energy. Now what about the hydration energy? So along group and period. Along group and period. Okay. If positive ion size is small, attraction is water molecules, attraction is high. If it is a small, attraction is high. If it is a big size ion, so water molecules attraction is low. Water molecules attraction is low. That means here strong attraction is there. That means more energy released. Here less attraction is there, low attraction. That means less energy released. Less energy released. That means small size ions have more hydration energy. Big size ions have less hydration energy. So generally small size ions have more hydration energy. Big size ions have less hydration energy. Hydration energy. From top to bottom, size increases. Therefore, hydration energy decreases. Okay. So let us take alkali metals. See here. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. So these are the atoms. These are the ions. Okay. So this one has a small size. This one has a big size. Okay. Now top to bottom size of these cations increases. What happened? Lattice energy. First of all, tell me lattice energy. Lattice energy top to bottom size increases, lattice energy decreases. No doubt lattice energy decreases. Because lattice energy is inversely proportional to size of the radii. Sum of the radii of cation and anion, it is the cation. Okay, corrected. Now what happened? Hydration energy. Hydration energy also top to bottom decreases. Hydration energy also top to bottom. That means every ion has both lattice energy and hydration energy. Okay, those both lattice energy and hydration energy from top to bottom decreases, but one is more decreased, another one is less decreased. That value depending on the solubility of this chemical. So see here, if for a chemical, for an ionic compound, if lattice energy greater than hydration energy. So, my dear boys, my voice is audible to you or not? Tell me. Am I audible to you? Yes, yes. Okay. So, my dear boys, check your internet connection. I am audible to all of you. Okay, see here. Lattice energy. What is lattice energy? When Na plus ion and Cl minus ions are there, these two are moving to each other. So during the formation of NaCl, something energy is released. This released energy is called as lattice energy. That means lattice energy keeps the ions together. So lattice energy, that means lattice energy so keeps the molecules ions together. So more lattice energy means more is the attraction between those two ions. That means it is difficult to break these ions into ions. This NaCl ionic compound into respect to ions. So as the lattice energy increases, so stability of ionic compound also increases. More lattice energy means difficult to break into respect to ions. Difficult to break those ions, that ionic compound into respect to ions, it is very, very difficult. Because lattice energy means that is the energy released when they are combined with each other. More is the strong is the combination, automatically more energy will be released. That means lattice energy keeps the ions together. Lattice energy keeps the ions together. Now, what about hydration energy? Once ionic compound, that is A and B is there, if it is breakdown into respect to ions, so water molecules are surrounded. That surrounding water molecules, because of that, something energy is released. That released energy is called as hydration energy. So lattice energy keeps the ions together, but hydration energy keeps the ions far away. Hydration energy keeps the ions far away. Hydration energy trying to separate those two ions, but lattice energy keeps them into together. These two are opposite forces. Okay, so if lattice energy is more than that of hydration energy, that means together force is more than that of separating force. That ion is always together, is not break down into respect to ions. If hydration energy is greater than lattice energy, so automatically breaking energy is more than that of combination energy. That means that ion compound is going to break, automatically break down into respect to ions. That gives that chemical is soluble. So therefore, if lattice energy is greater than hydration energy, that ionic compounds not soluble in water. Not soluble in water. If lattice energy less than that of hydration energy, so ionic compound soluble in water. So this is the condition. So when a chemical is soluble or when a chemical not soluble in water. So in water, lattice energy and hydration energy both are exist. In water, both lattice energy and hydration energy exist. So if lattice energy is more, not easy to break. Not easy to break, that means that is less soluble. If hydration energy is more, easy to break. Easy to break means that is more soluble. So it is a very, very important case, my dear boys. So lattice energy is greater than hydration energy. This is Lattice energy means combining, to keep the ions together. Together is more than that of separation. That means always it is combined. So it is combined means it is not soluble energy, almost less soluble energy. So lattice energy is less than that of hydration energy. Hydration energy is more. That means that is separating energy is more. Ions are easy to separate. That means the compound is unstable. So automatically the compound is more stable. So this is very, very important towards the solubility of ionic compounds in water. All ionic compounds are equally soluble. Some are more soluble, some are less soluble. That solubility is totally depending on this hydration energy and lattice energy. So lattice energy and hydration energy of compounds from different compounds have different lattice energies and hydration energies. Okay, so that is why. So lattice energy and hydration energy plays an important role during the solubility of ionic compounds, in particular water. Not only water, solvent energy is there, solvation energy. So there other compounds are also applicable. This is about